I was at an event and we were in a peer meeting, and I was talking to a group about money mindset and how there are so many people out there who are afraid to invest in themselves and their businesses. And the woman sitting across from me said, "Oh, that would be a great topic to teach for your audience." And instantly I thought, yes. Now I just have to find a money mindset expert to come in to be the expert for our Access the Expert series. And the woman said, "Why don't you do the talk?" And I instantly felt resistance, which is kind of crazy because I have never been afraid to talk about money. But I instantly responded with, "Well, I'm not a money mindset coach. I'm not an expert in money. And to be honest, I don't really feel like I've had money mindset issues. So what am I going to offer?" And she said, "That's why you're the perfect person to talk about this." And I went home and I thought on it. And I felt really scared about it. Finding an expert would have been the easy way out, but I really felt like God was saying, "No, you have to do this. You have to have the conversation." And I stood in my bathroom with the shower running while the water was getting warm. And I just started crying. And I said, "If I'm supposed to be the one to deliver this message, God, you're going to have to tell me what to say." And so I have been waiting for the signs, for the messages, for, the inspiration. And I've been dragging my feet to record this. And the team is like, "I need the episode. I need the episode. I need the episode." And I've been dragging my feet because I feel like this is a really important topic that holds a lot of people back. And I just want to say the right thing. And I keep second guessing on what that right thing is. I'm not sure that I've gotten any clear messages on what to say or what not to say, but I just figured that I would come on here and I would have an open and honest conversation about money, about things I've heard people say about money recently, where people are spending their money, and how I approach money. Hey friend, welcome to the Badass is the New Black podcast, where our motto is done is better than perfect. I'm Chrissy Chin, here on a mission to help you grow your business online, turn your leads into lifelong customers, and scale to 6 figures and beyond so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more. Most importantly, I'm a laid-back wife, a mom, a friend who started as a peds nurse, turned network marketer, and now a serial entrepreneur. This podcast is for ambitious people with an idea, a vision, but no idea how to get there. On this podcast, I'll give actionable steps to keep you moving forward while you learn new business strategies, better systems and processes, marketing, sales, all the things you need to build and scale a blissful business that keeps your pocketbooks growing. Grab a beverage, open up your notes app, and let's get to it. This is an interesting time to talk about money because we are definitely in a cycle where the cost of things has gone up. And if you are solely an entrepreneur, then your income most likely has decreased this year. There are definitely some outliers, but I would say that it's pretty fair statement across the board that business income is down. And even I've been playing this story inside my head that people are holding on to their money right now because it's an election year. And, during the time of this recording and when this airs, this is election happening right now. And that's been the story that's playing inside my head. And so I keep thinking in my head, yes, when people are in fear and aren't sure about what the future holds, they hold on to their money. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine and we were talking about this season of business. And I mentioned that about people holding on to their money right now, being an election year, being during the time of election. And her response was quite shocking to me. She said, "I'm not someone who lets things like that, like the election, prevent me from spending. It has no weight on what I'm doing right now and how I'm investing in myself and my business." And this limiting belief that I had about how everyone is holding on to their money was just tested. It wasn't blown up yet, but that limiting belief was definitely tested. And so I thought, Why have I been saying that? Why have I been thinking this? And it's partially because I've been hearing other people say this. I've been hearing them say things about money and how people hold on to their money right now. And so I have been believing that story and even sharing that story out into the world. It's so valuable to think back to the money stories that have been told to us by the people in our life. And so often we can follow our story back and see what created our current money habits. And they can be good money habits and they can be bad money habits. And when I think back about my money story, I remember my dad being a very hard worker and my mom staying home with us when we were younger. We had a family of 6, so there was always enough to take care of us, but there wasn't an abundance to do lavish things. We didn't fly on planes to go on vacation. We drove 22 hours from Michigan to Florida on spring break. We shared a hotel room, all 6 of us, or we would go on a camping trip. We didn't go out to eat except for really special occasions, the annual Olive Garden birthday dinner. And I had friends that were in our same camp, and I had friends that were not, and they flew on planes, and their parents bought them clothes from Abercrombie and Fitch. My parents didn't talk about money much at all. So there wasn't one strong message for or against being played in my head as I was growing up. But I can remember early on seeing people who had more and feeling like, wow, that's really cool. I want that. How do I get that? And knowing that I would need more money to have those things. My thought process could have easily been from the perspective of jealousy, that I could have thought, man, they're so lucky. I'll never have that. The way that we look at money and things surrounded by money certainly affects how we spend money and what we do with it. I have another friend who shall be unnamed, but we were having a conversation and they shared with me that growing up, their mother made their clothes. And a pair of pants, if they got a hole in it, their mother would stitch a patch in their pants. Or if a button fell off, she'd sew a new button on, and most likely it would be a mismatched button. And the kids at school would make fun of my friend, and they would call them poor. And it was that experience in their life that affected their relationship with money. They became incredibly ambitious to make sure that they always had more than enough money. And their spending habits reflected this past experience. They were always the first friend to say, let me take care of the bill for dinner. Or they'd go on lavish vacations, or they'd pay for other people for things you wouldn't normally pay for. This friend shared with me that they realize the reason they do this is because they want other people to see that they have money. They don't want to be viewed as poor. This behavior stemmed from the money story that they had as a child. I've spoken with other people who've talked about how their parents were incredibly religious and they viewed money as evil. And so now they have this resistance to calling in more money because their whole life they've been told the story that money is evil and people who have money are evil. And they don't want to be seen as evil. They don't want to become evil. And so they end up pushing money away. In order to shift your money story, it first takes recognizing it. What is the money story that you have? You can do this by reflecting on what you remember your parents' relationship with money, or what the messages were that they were telling you about money, or your first memory about money that you have. Do those have anything to do with how you interact with money today? I've seen a common theme in the wellness industry, because I'm very deep into that industry, that if you are in this space of helping people, it's more likely that you have a resistance to investing in your business and trouble charging people for your offers and services. Now, if you just got a little triggered by that statement, if you're in the wellness space and you're like, what? Then, maybe it's time to take a little step back and look at this a little bit more. Now, I don't have a statistic to back that up. It's just something that I've seen from personal experience. Could there be other industries out there that are more susceptible to having money, mindsets? I don't want to call it issues, but you know what I mean? 100%. But because of the type of people that we work with, I see this all the time. And I see it really holding them back. And it makes me really sad. And I really want to help them. In one way, it holds people back from investing in themselves and their business. In another way, it holds them back from maximizing their earning potential. Now, we've previously talked about the subconscious mind and how it is incredibly powerful. And my dear friend Mindy Hubner has shared with us that your subconscious runs 95% of your thoughts. That means you're only controlling 5% of your thoughts and aware of 5% of your thoughts. And even more shocking, you're only realizing 5% of your thoughts. You don't even know those thoughts that are happening the 95% of the time. So what are the thoughts that are happening in that subconscious that are dictating your success? The one place that I feel skilled enough to talk about with you is just bringing awareness to the topic and encouraging you to look back at the examples that have been set before you in the stories that you have been told to you about money and comparing them to your relationship with money currently. And if you grew up with a bad example of money and therefore you have a poor relationship with money, it's not your fault. You can take radical responsibility for making the shift and breaking the pattern and developing better money habits and a deeper, more meaningful relationship with money so it can serve you for the greater good and in return, serve everyone around you for better. I want to get into the topic of investing in yourself, but first I want to talk to you about how people are spending money in 2024. So circling back to this conversation about the story that's being told right now, that people are holding on to their money so people aren't spending with you and your business, it's wrong. People are spending money. They just aren't spending it with you. I did an exercise at Veronica Romney's Make It Rain event recently, and she had us all write down what we had spent money on in the last year and why. The things I wrote down were spending money on things to make me feel healthier and look younger. We've spent money on vacations and spending time with friends, eating out because we love making memories and that makes us happy, and I don't really like to cook. And I've invested money in my business. We've invested money in starting a new business, Choose Fun, buying inventory, and I've invested in some communities and some trainings that will help me learn more and grow in my business. She opened up the floor for people to share about how they were spending money and why they had spent money on that. And it was pretty evident across the board that people were spending money on things that made them happy, made them feel good, provided experiences, things like, spending a lot on Taylor Swift concert tickets and flights overseas to go see her, or even simpler things like dinner and drinks out with friends. But let's just circle back to this conversation about money and how you're spending money and how to determine what is worth investing in when you have to be mindful of what you're spending. Because maybe that is the hard reality, is that there is not an overabundance of money. And so you are afraid to let some of it go. When you think of your business and you think of your business success, what does it mean to you? What would it mean to you if your business was successful? Everyone has their own definition of success, right? It could be successful if you helped 100 people. It could be successful if you enjoy what you're doing on a day-to-day or allowed you to stay home with your family. It could be a success if you make $200,000 this year. If your business was successful, regardless of your definition of success, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for your status? What does that mean for your lifestyle? What does that mean for your happiness? If you're watching on YouTube, I would love to see what you put in the comments what this means to you. I'd love to actually have this conversation rather than just being one-sided over here. If having a successful business means that you get to be happier because you're doing something you love, I've seen people time and time again this past year leaving high-paying jobs to start their own businesses because they are tired of the stress and want a happier lifestyle. They want to be that present parent. They want to be that more connected partner, right? If you're doing something you love, you get to have less stress. You get to be more involved with your kids. You get to be that better partner, happier, more present, and contributing financially. I would say that you and your business are 100% worth investing in if it means that you get to have those things. To me, money is just an energetic flow. It's an energetic exchange of one thing for another. Back in the day, we used to exchange, things like beans for a piece of leather or a leather bag, right? Money is literally just a piece of paper that we give value to. If money is an energetic flow and you want to have more of that energy coming in, then you don't want to clog the flow because energy is constantly moving. So you want to keep passing that energy back and forth. Okay. So taking that dollar bill and holding on to it out of fear blocks the energetic flow. And if you're unable to put money out there to pass the energy, then you'll be unable to bring the money in to receive the energy. Am I saying that you need to go out there and spend all of your money to, put the energy out there and be irresponsible with your money to make sure you get it back? No. I'm shedding light on the fact that the way that you give and receive money is a reflection of the stories you've been told and experienced your whole life. And that it is quite possible that this is part of what is holding you back from generating success in your business. And the greater message that you are worth investing in. Your business is worth investing in. You can only get back what you put in. And, we're talking about money, an exchange of money, but it could certainly be an exchange of time. If you're not investing the time, then you're not going to get out what you want, right? When you invest in yourself and your business, you'll be able to help and serve more people, right? That's a true statement. And when you help and serve more people, more money will flow back in. So as we get closer to the end of 2024 and start looking at 2025, I want to invite you to think about what you want for 2025 when it comes to your business. And then think about the things that will be important for you to invest in order to reach those goals. If you want to start a podcast in 2025, then you'll probably want to invest in some support around starting a podcast. Maybe it's a mini course to teach you how to launch a podcast. Maybe it's a podcast editor to edit your audio sound bites and get it uploaded. If you want to speak in front of audiences in 2025, but you're too scared to do it or you've been too scared, a great investment might be a speaking coach. If you are really ready to get serious about your business, ready to stop treating it like a side hustle and you want to treat it like a real legit business, you want to get strangers to buy your offers while you're sleeping and feel confident about seeking out collaborations with other people because you present yourself as a professional, then this may be the time to invest in a website for your business or setting up an automated funnel for your business to work smarter. Whether it's learning how to do it and investing the time, or it's investing to have someone do it for you. If 2025 is the year for you to work smarter, to save time, to show up like a professional business owner, then it might be time to look into getting the support that you need to do that. I cannot tell you what that is, that specific thing to invest in, but I invite you into the conversation to explore what it is that you truly want for 2025, and to align your spending and your investing in the things and the people that are going to help you get there. I would love to have you share your 2025 goal with me. If you're watching on YouTube, in the comments. If you're not, you can send me a DM on Instagram, _, or you can even go to KNC Creative on Instagram and send it there. And I want to know, what your goal is for 2025 and what you're excited to invest in to help you get there. I hope that there was one piece of this episode that resonated with you. I hope that if you were triggered by any of it, that you take a minute to explore those feelings. Know that nothing is wrong with you. And in fact, you actually just tapped into something deeper worth exploring. And if you do end up sitting back and reflecting on what you want in 2025, if a website is something that you want to be seen as a professional business owner to help you work smarter in your business and have more automations that allow you to call in strangers to your business that become dream clients and customers, and have a way to sell to them, while you're sleeping or while you're with the kids or out to lunch with friends, so that you can be more present either with your family or a more connected coach, then I want to invite you to a masterclass that we have coming up. This is a live masterclass with 3 different days and times to attend. It is called The Science Behind an Irresistible Website That Gets People to Take Action and Buy. And we are teaching this 3 different times, 3 different days and times, because there is not going to be a replay. We are doing things in this class that we've never done before. We are offering things that we have never offered before. And it's a heck of a lot more fun when people show up and interact. I know, because I'm sitting here recording a podcast episode, having a conversation with myself. So that is how we are going to be offering it. I will drop the link below the video if you're watching on YouTube. It will be in the show notes. You can also just go to kncreative.com and it will be right there at the top to sign up for the website masterclass, so you can pick your date and time to attend. This is open to anyone, so please share it with your business friends who either don't have a website or have outgrown their website and want to learn how to create it so people actually take action and buy. As always, it's been a pleasure. We will be back in 2 weeks with an incredible episode from Sophia Para. I'm interviewing her on marketing, and we're going to talk about how you are marketing wrong and how to make it easy and effective. Until then, go out there and take some imperfect action. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got some value out of this episode, I would love some support. And the best way to do that, so I can keep showering you with loads of actionable tips, is to hit that subscribe button. Leave a review or a comment if you're on YouTube, and share this podcast with a friend. And when you share it with a friend on social, please tag me so I can reshare your share in my stories. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of you for showing up. And now it's time for you to take imperfect action so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more.